October, folks, is of course a small business month here on King Island. Lots of events happening with tourism, with business, and we're going to talk now to Kelly Brown from Business Tasmania and Warren Moore from the Breton Business Centre because we're going to have a workshop online where you can learn lots. Because listen, and you find a lot of information that's coming your way. Let me start with you, Kelly. You're part of Business Tasmania. For those who don't know, Business Tasmania. It's obvious, but
Awesome. Thanks, Wade. Look, really great to be here and having a chat with you today. And hello, King Island businesses. So Business Tasmania is a state government service, and we exist to help businesses throughout Tasmania and on the island with a range of free support through the government to help people to start or run a business. And there's so much support we can offer. So we have some great free business advice services, which Warren will talk about. We have digital coaching that can help businesses on the island with their digital presence, whether that be their website or social media, to try and attract more customers or improve what they're doing online. We're really that front door to the government where businesses can come to us, one central point, give us a call, send us an email. We also visit the island from time to time as well. And we can actually help with anything at all business related. And so that's really our key role, is to really try and make running a business as easy as it possibly can be in challenging times, with a whole host of great free support. And that includes funding programs. So we are the point of contact for many funding programs delivered through the Department of State Growth. So I can certainly talk more about that while we're chatting as well, Wade.
now, Warren Moore, you're almost a King Islander because I don't know how many times you've been here, but anyway, representing the Breton Business Centre. For those who don't know, give us a short little spiel.
Thanks, Wade, and as usual, really appreciate the opportunity to have a yarn. Look, Breton Business Centre, it's a not-for-profit incorporated association, has its own board, but it has a number of contracts with the Department of State Growth to deliver free business advice to business in northwest and western Tasmania, including the wonderful King Island. I was only there for a couple of days a week or so ago. It's always a great place to visit and to talk with the business operators. And our services are funded through state growth. People who are looking at starting a business, they can get 2 hours of my time free per year. People who are already operating a business, and that is their ABN's more than 12 months old, can get 5 hours of my time free per year. And a lot of King Island businesses have used that service over the years, and we're still doing that now.
Now, Kelly, you were telling me that your organisation, Business Tasmania, is the portal to the government. I wonder sometimes, are a lot of businesses, even here on King Island, aware of what your organisation can do for them?
Look, I think, Wade, there's many that are not aware. I certainly have met plenty of businesses over the years. I've been doing this role for about 12 years. But I do believe there's a lot of businesses on the island who are not aware, and I'd love for them to join our online event, which is actually next Tuesday, the 15th, from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. And when we catch up next week, we're going to really talk through examples of the support Warren and I are touching on today, but more support that we can also offer, plus the grant program that is coming up on the 22nd of October. So that grant program is the Enabling Business Grant Program, and it's an opportunity for businesses to apply for up to $10,000 to use towards the purchase of equipment, which is a significant amount of money for a lot of businesses, many businesses. And so we can actually talk through in depth what's required for that grant program when we catch up with businesses online next Tuesday.
Yeah, because it's, for example, I was talking to the owner of a laundromat that we have here on the island. They're extending because, the Ocean Dune Golf Course, there's going to be units built. So where in one way businesses are on the brink of closing right now, as we all know, like the King Island Dairy, The golf industry and accommodation and tourism is growing. Now, the owner of the laundromat said to me, he said, actually, I need a new hot water system because we can't handle it anymore. And we're extending our business and we like to provide a good service. And he was not aware that, and tell me if I'm wrong, that with this sort of grant coming up on the 22nd of October, that would probably be a good opportunity for them to apply for a grant, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely, Wade. So certainly different equipment, whether that's a hot water machine system or, new heat pump or new coffee machine if you're a cafe, or you might need a new dishwasher in your cafe. So there's a whole host of different types of equipment that people can apply for to help their business to grow or innovate. And that's exactly some of the things we can talk about next Tuesday.
Yeah, because I've often seen, applications for grants like we also do with our own radio station here, that sometimes with grant applications, you look at them and you think, do I need a university degree first before I can fill this out?
Yes, look, absolutely, Wade. Look, what we also do is we do quite a few different things to help people understand what's involved with writing a grant application. So the Business Tasmania team, we can actually help over the phone to understand what's involved, because program guidelines, they can be a bit of a lengthy read. But what Warren is able to do as well is provide assistance with grant applications, and businesses can use some of their free hours with Warren for assistance with applying for grants that are coming up as well.
Well, Warren, you can maybe tell me then that what is often for people the hurdle to apply for grants?
Okay, look, usually a grant program is a way that a government implements a policy, and quite often in the application you need to say, well, how does my project relate to that government policy? Particularly with the Enabling Business Grant, they've got to be able to show how their project lines up with the Tasmanian Government Small Business Strategy. Those bits can people think, how on earth do I do that? And that's where we help. In fact, I'm already working with 4 businesses on King Island at the moment, and I've already sent them a typical type of document that they could customise for themselves, which answers how you deal with that. This particular grant program is one of the more straightforward ones, but they do have to say, well, look, here's how this is going to assist government to get what it wants, because that's what's always behind a grant program. It's not only is it about giving money to people who operate businesses, but it's enabling a government to implement its own policies. And so that's the major area that people have problems with. They don't normally have problems getting quotes. They don't normally have problems talking about their business. They don't normally have problems saying why they need it. But it's usually these other bits and pieces that they need help with. But as Kelly said, they can call me and I can help them over the phone. I can send them documents, and I've already done that with a number of businesses on King Island already in relation to this grant program.
Now, Kelly, I receive every week, I think, because I clicked the button at some stage, a newsletter from Business Tasmania. Is it an idea that we let people know? And because I find there's so much interesting information in there, it's all free, and it can only help your business grow or further extend, isn't it?
Absolutely, Wade. It's great to hear that you receive it, because we really get a lot of feedback from businesses that the newsletter is a trusted source of information, and it's really always topical and very important for Tassie businesses. It includes program announcements, like new funding program announcements, which all businesses would like to know about, but really also just very important information. It's never filled up with fillers, so to speak. So I'd really recommend that people subscribe to the newsletter, and I can show people how to do that through the homepage of our website when we catch up next Tuesday at the event. But no, it's a really good idea to subscribe, to just stay in touch with what's happening, and because you're not alone, and there is a lot of support out there, and all free as well.
Well, for people, if you're watching out there, have a look down here now. There's the website where you can click on and subscribe to it to get that further information. Now, Warren, we're not going to give it all away, but can you think of anything else we're going to talk about next week?
Look, absolutely. Look, I've got a couple of things, Wade. Look, I'd like to talk about sort of the areas that we do work with businesses on through both the Tasmanian Business Advisory Services program and the New to Business program. And I'd also want to make maybe an observation in relation to King Island at the moment, and I'm sure you'll give me a view as your view of that as well. Look, firstly, the sort of assistance that I'm working with businesses right now on is succession planning. People who are, I'm a very similar age to you, Wade, and we're probably more at the later end of our working careers rather than the earlier end. And so people looking, well, how do I get out of this? And I think we've had a conversation about this before as well. And we run workshops in there, and it was very popular on King Island because there are a lot of people looking to actually get out of their businesses. Applying for bank finance, applying for government loans, looking at the feasibility of a particular business idea, managing people, a whole range of things, or even how do they find out what is actually different about their business so that they can promote that in their marketing planning. We do a lot of profit and cash forecasting, saying, well, okay, with this business scenario, this is what it might look like over the next 5 years. With this business scenario, this is what it might look like. So people got a bit of an idea of going forward, or even, well, perhaps I shouldn't even do this. So that's the sort of thing. And in the New to Business program, we do a lot of how to start a business, all the compliance issues. I mean, quite often people come to us and say, oh, it's, the startup stuff is quite difficult. That is ABNs, business names, GST and insurances. And I tell them, no, that's the easy bit. Making sure you've got enough customers who are coming often enough and paying enough and paying often enough. That's the hard bit. But everyone, not surprisingly, thinks their new business is absolutely fantastic and the market's going to beat a path to their door. So customers are never going to be a problem. And it's always the other way around. So they're the sorts of things. But I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, and we've got a wide range of resources that we can bring and a lot of experience that there's not too many circumstances that we haven't come across before. But having said that, the more I'm in the job, the more I realise how much I don't know. And I sort of worry when people come in and say, well, I can solve all your problems for you. We've got an approach, and we work through and develop a customised solution. We're not churning out mini McDonald's in terms of our templated approaches. It's customised for every business because every business is very, very different.
It sure is. Now, I'm sure there's plenty to learn next week, Kelly. Business Tasmania, business. What about if I decided that I'm not in business, but I'm interested to start a business?
Absolutely.
Can you support with that too?
Yes, we'd love to. Absolutely, Wade. So anyone who's they might be dreaming or have a bit of an idea, they haven't started, haven't done anything, I'd still encourage them to join along because they can hear about all the fantastic things Warren can do through the New Business Support Pilot Program and helping get people started in business.
So all we can say is, folks, next Tuesday, tune in, and we're going to put the link there. I believe, Warren, you just before I close it off.
Yes, just before you close it. Look, I'm probably going to mention something which some people might say is a little bit provocative, but I don't think it is actually really. We've mentioned the issues with Saputo at the moment, Group 6, multi-species abattoir, just plus a challenging business environment generally. My view is that it's the ideal time maybe on King Island to have a bit of a stock take on where we're going and actually what we're doing. One of the things which is there's some amazing people on King Island and amazing things that people do. But one of the things which I find amazing is that we don't do niche businesses very well. Now, what I mean by that is very bespoke, boutique. If we look at our major income earners, beef, dairy, seafood, it's all in the commodity market type space, but there's very little in something which is just fantastically unique on King Island. Tourism does it. When I have just looked recently through the recent tourism survey undertaken for King Island by Roy Morgan, one of the things they say is that, look, we come to this fantastic place expecting to get all this wonderful locally produced food and so on, but there's not much here we can actually get. I mean, as you say, you can't get fresh milk. It's very difficult to get fresh fish. As far as meat is concerned, it may come from the island, but it's probably come back from the island. Those sorts of things, and I just can't believe. I mean, if there is anywhere, Wade, in this earth where you can run a niche business, it's King Island, because it's just so fantastic a place to do those things, but we actually don't. And I think they are some of the things that we should actually be looking at. I mean, I won't be the first one to say that I think there should be, at least 3 bespoke boutique dairies between Curry and Cape Wickham that visitors can actually go to and do, and more stuff we can do with beef. I mean, the beef farmers have had a lot of difficulty, particularly through the drought, and that's because they're producing one product for one customer. If something happens at either end of that, then their businesses are vulnerable. And I think there's an opportunity for some to diversify into some other areas, just as a risk management strategy, if nothing else. So they're the things that I think we should be looking at, because King Island has got some absolutely fantastic stuff that you can't get anywhere else in the world, or very rarely, but we don't do much with it.
Next Tuesday, folks, to be continued. Thank you very much, Kelly Brown, and more.
Thank you, Wade, so much. Awesome.